So just being able to get away and get out of Sydney, it's a little bit hectic at times, and to be able to come to a place like this where you've got a beautiful lake system, it's close to the ocean, there's a lot of fish in here, and be able to just drift around on a kayak a little bit away from it all and be able to cast surface lures in, a metre at most of water. The opportunity to fish spots like these is quite accessible up and down the east coast of Australia. Google Earth is your friend. You can often find little inlets and things like that behind particular beaches that can be fished and usually do hold good numbers of fish. It's not an expensive exercise. We've pretty much come here. We've got a couple of swags, a couple of guys have got tents, we've got a grill sitting on some bricks, and that's pretty much all you need. And it's a pleasurable thing to be able to do, to get away from the city and sit out here seemingly in the middle of nowhere and just fish whenever you like. Sit down, have a relax, get up, go for a fish again. It's awesome.
Tell you what, they were bloody aggressive over there. One came right out of the water. So better quality fish, taking a little stick bait, put up a good fight on light tackle. See you, mate. Fishing here, it's really shallow, and the bottom's covered with weed. But when we went for an explore yesterday, we found some areas where there was like patches in between the weed of sand, and the fish were I think focused around those patchy areas. And also wind lanes. We had a little breeze blowing, and you'd come around a point and there'd be a bit of a wind lane going down one side. It's like with trout fishing when you're in a big lake, that the wind blows the food down there and the fish sort of congregate. And we found a few fish around there, but they were definitely focused around those areas where the sort of the holes between the weed and the sand. And I guess the other thing that we found was that really long casts and long pauses when you were working your surface lure. So you'd belt out as long a cast as you could, work it a couple of times when it hit the water, and then do a really long pause. Just wait, and then the next twitch, often you just got whacked. And some of the strikes were really aggressive. One fish I caught just came right out of the water. Just this yellow, goldy brim just went smack. It was fantastic. And then other ones, they were really subtle, like they sort of slurped it off the surface. It was quite interesting to see the reaction of the different fish. Like one would be really aggressive, the other one would be a lot more timid. So it's one of the great things about fishing, it's always different, it's always exciting. Yeah, it feels so strange going to, straight through fluoro after using braid. You just don't have that sensitivity when you're retrieving the lure.
No, it's got a little bit of give in it, so it doesn't transfer as well to the rod, I guess.
No, it's weird because, you use braid for everything and you're used to that direct sort of contact with the lure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in this water, it's a bit deeper obviously, but it's still really clear, so I can see the 3-pound fluoro being a much better option for this sort of fishing.
Yeah, definitely improve your catch rate, all the things. Alright, so Jim, what have you put on for this little area?
Well, I just put a little hard body on, just a shallow diver, and seemed a bit deeper here and there's not as much weed, so...
It is very deep, actually, compared to areas where we fished before.
Yeah, so would you, when you were down here last, just a slow roll, or...?
Yeah, just a slow roll with a little hard body in these deeper sections.
Any pauses, or just...?
No pauses, they float pretty quickly, so if you pause it'll just pop up to the top real fast.
Okay.
So just a really slow roll all the way back.
Yeah, well this one's loaded up with that 3-pound fluoro, so
yep.
Hopefully even though it's a bit deeper, it's still really clear.
It is clear, yeah.
So I need that stealthy sort of aspect.
I guess when we're fishing down here, we're using surface lures and small, shallow diving minnows. For the surface lures, using something like this, a bit of braid, a mono leader, and a stick bait. This one's about 70mm long. The braid basically has less stretch, so we use that basically so that as soon as we move the rod, the lure's going to move. If you're using a shallow hard body, I run fluoro all the way through. Gives it a really nice action, casts well, and it's also quite invisible. The water is really clear here, so you've got to be careful when you're paddling around. You'll spook fish pretty easily, so long casts are pretty important, and not too much splashing around because you'll end up catching nothing. I'm using a little shallow crank style lure. Doesn't dive very deep. It's actually not more than a metre here really. Just sort of just goes under the surface, and it's just a slow wind basically. I like the natural colours personally. You can use anything with that sort of profile. Most colours will probably work. So there was a little fish that came up then and had a follow. Well conditioned, not massive.
Yeah, fishing always sends up a few surprises. I just hooked a nice bream on a flat and I was fighting it, and I was obviously sort of engaged with that, and I looked down and there was a snake trying to climb in my canoe. This black snake was swimming across the creek here, and he'd obviously thought the kayak was a log or something. It scared the hell out of me.
I'm gonna get hit there. That snag. Oh, not a bad fish either. Bad fish. Oh, that snag. Come on. Here it comes. Look at that chunk.